Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you clicked on. If you're not, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit fun. We have 24 books that I want to read in 2024, strictly off of my physical TBR, because one of my goals for 2024 was to read a good chunk of my physical TBR and buy less books. I made this spread in my little reading journal, and I just wanted to talk about the books that I wanted to read. I, of course, have already read some, considering it is February, almost March, so I'm still going to include them in the videos. We'll go over them, but this is what this looks like. It is a big goal of mine to complete this so that all of them are colored in. I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to start with the books that I've already read. The first book that I read this year, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was super fun, super fluffy. I think I gave it like a 3.5 or something, but it was cute. I'd had this on my TBR since 2022, I think. I'd had it for a really long time. This was one of the first books that I bought, and I wasn't reading it, so I finally picked this up and I read it, and I'm happy I did because it was cute. The next book that I read was Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. This was so fun. I have also had this on my TBR since 2022, I think, or 2020, no, yeah, August 2022. I'm so happy that I read it. It was super interesting. I think I gave this a 4-star. Woody, honey, no. But this was really fun. I'm really happy it's off my TBR, and I'm happy I read it. I love Alice Feeney's writing, so I'll definitely be continuing to pick up books by her. The next book that I've already read off of the 24 books that I want to read is The House Across the Lake. This was actually my book club. Bookmark in here. Anyways, this was actually my book club pick with my friends, so I read this. I think I rated it a 3.75. I enjoyed it. I liked his writing, so I'm definitely going to be picking up more by Riley Sager. But we have Sorcery of Thorns, which is not a book that I've had very long, but a book that I really would love to get to. And then another book that I've had literally forever is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I would really like to get to this. This is like a young adult mystery. And I love reading those, so I don't know why I haven't picked this up, but I'm excited to. And then another book that hasn't been on my TBR for too long, but I really would love to get to, is You with a View by Jessica Joyce. The cover, first of all, is so cute, and it's a debut romance, so if I like it, then I have a new author that I can enjoy reading books from. And then another book that I would really love to get to is Did You Hear About Kitty Carr? I've had this since 2023. I would love to get it off my TBR. It gives the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo vibes just by like the cover. I don't know if it has anything similar in it. I actually don't really know what it's about, but I'm looking forward to picking this up this year. Either a physical copy or an audio. We shall see. Hey, why are you eating my books? That's not cool, dude. Okay, anyways, the next book, you'll see a theme here. There's quite a few, there's a lot of Book of the Month books that I would like to get to because I have so many that I haven't read, and I would really like to make a good dent in those this year. But the next book I have is The Unmaking of June Farrow, which I'll definitely get to because my cousins and I are doing like a book club, like every 2 months we read a book. So this is the book, I think, for April, or maybe like June or July, something like that, but this is one of the books, so I'm really excited to get to this. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard good things about this book. And then another book that I would love to get to this year is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I've heard that this is like a really cozy fantasy little vibe. Also, at the end of this year, I will be going through all of the books that I had on this list and seeing what I read and what I didn't. So definitely stay tuned for that, but that's obviously going to be in like 10 months, so. Another book that I've had for so long, since 2022, that I have not read yet that I really need to get to is The Midnight Library. I've heard good things about it. It's just like, another book that's on my list is The Maid by Anita Prose. I actually started this, and then I just like stopped. I got to page 39 and I just like didn't pick it back up. There was nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to read something else. So I will finish this because I have already started it. Another book that I've had for a very long time that I would like to get off my list is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I actually haven't read anything by this author, and the sole reason I got this book was because the like end pages are really pretty. Oh, I totally forgot. I'm actually also reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I've been reading this since January 27th and today is February 19th. So that's how that's going. This is on my 24 books to read in 2024 and I will finish this. When? I don't know. I think I'll pick it back up after I finish my 3 current reads. Another book that I would have really liked to get to that I've owned since 2022 is The Roughest Draft. I will read this summer because I heard it gives Emily Henry vibes and I love Emily Henry, so I definitely want to try this out and see how it is. And then another book that's on my list is Happiness for Beginners by Catherine Center. I love her books and I love her writing. It's very like literary fiction / romance / women's fiction. Bigger on the romance, but I would really like to get to this. I've read a couple of her books and I've enjoyed all of them, so I definitely want to get to this. The next book that I would like to get to is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I own, I think, 3 or 4 of her books. 3? Andrew says I own 3. And I haven't read any of them. I've heard really good things about it. Slow burn. Maybe I'll read it this year. And then the next book that I have on my list is Shatter Me. This is a book that I have had from 2022. I really need to read it. I did start it one day. Like I read the first chapter and I saw that like everything is like, there's like sentences and words that are like crossed out. And that just like turned me off and I didn't want to read it. But I am determined to read this and decide if I want to actually read the Shatter Me series or if I just like don't want to. So I will read this. It's short. I don't know. Sorry, we were rudely interrupted. I hope that it actually stopped when I was talking about Crescent City. It didn't. It stopped before we talked about Crescent City and before I didn't get to talk about Never. Even though I did talk about it for like a minute. So we're just gonna sum this up really quick. I want to read Never by Jesse Hastings. I'm scared of it, but I love her writing in Magnolia Parks. So hopefully I will get to this. If I don't, maybe next year. No, I'll read it this year. It's on my list and I want to read every book on my list. So Never by Jesse Hastings. It's also on this list. Now back to Crescent City. But if it stopped before Crescent City when I was talking about Never, I want to read this book. You're never gonna believe this. Powerless by Lauren Roberts is also on my list. I had filmed me talking about this and then it was also not in the clip. So I want to read this. Back to the actual video. You'll see no more of me. No more editing, Ellie. But will I? Maybe not this year. But I'm gonna try. I love Sarah J. Maas, so I'm gonna try and read this. And then another book that I would love to read is One Dark Window. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and it's just a duology, so it's not like a huge commitment. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I have had this also since 2022. One of the first books that I bought when I started my reading journey little thing. I did read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I just found the pacing to not be the best. I'm excited to get to this. I've been wanting to read it. I just haven't picked it up. I was putting away all my books and I totally forgot that this was on my list. A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Completely forgot about it and I really do want to read it. It's a series, I believe. Back to the video. This stack of books that I have going right here is gonna fall over. And then the last book that I want to read is Dance of Thieves. The only problem that I have with this is that my friend told me that I need to read the Kiss of Deception trilogy first and then read this, and I do not own Kiss of Deception, and every time I see it at Barnes I put it right back down and I never buy it. But I really want to read this. Those are all of the books on my 24 books that I want to read in 2024 little list I have going. And I'm really excited to get to them. Hopefully I can get to all of them. I know I can read 24 books in a year. And yeah, of course there's other books that I own that I really would love to get to that I'll probably go to first before I read any of these. All of the books just fell. Anyways, that's a perfect way to close out this video. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna pick all of these up and I will see you in the next one. Oh man.